Hey, it's Dan Ward with Key Group at eXp Realty. Just coming back to you guys real quick after a real estate investing 101 course for folks that are thinking about or want to get involved in investing in real estate, whether that's fix and flips or buy and holds. We talk a lot about, how the metrics work, the math, and what looks like a good investment, and, how to spot good investments and how to measure them and how to make sure you're making a smart move financially. But one of the things that I think we take for granted, because I do this class in-house, I think one of the things that we take for granted here is the market that we're in. And, most of my investors, most of the clients that we work with are local to, if you're familiar with who we are, we're in the Akron Canton market in Northeast Ohio. And I think we take for granted that, we have such a great rental market here that, folks around the country who may not know about it, I think it's worth looking into. It's worth investing in, especially. So what I want to talk to you about today is if you're looking to get into the rental investment, the buy and hold market, you're looking around the country, maybe you're sitting out in California, maybe you're in Arizona, maybe you're out in Colorado. Hey, if you don't know anything about Northeast Ohio or the Akron or the Canton area, I wanted to cover a couple good reasons why you should invest in real estate in the Akron area. So stick around, we'll talk some more. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, probably one of the biggest reasons, we see people looking at the Akron market when they are, investing in real estate. Especially, let's just stick this conversation to buy and holds. Without getting into too much history of the housing construction and what's happened over the decades in our area, the essentials are, Cleveland was heavy steel production back in the day. Akron was and is the rubber capital of the world. You have a couple of the world's largest tire manufacturers headquartered here and produce tires here for decades, and still do. Canton still has some really good and pretty high-end steel mill production in this area. So the labor force is here, it's stable. The area's got a pretty strong GDP. But I think one of the biggest things that we talk about with our investors is when you're looking at properties and you're trying to evaluate properties, there's a lot of factors that go into play there. So here's a couple of pretty good specific reasons why I think you should specifically look at the Akron market when investing in real estate. One of the top reasons is that if you look at statistics, now when I talk about the Akron area, I'm talking about Akron, Barberton, Kenmore, North Hill, Goodyear Heights, even stretching up north to Cuyahoga Falls, a little bit south into Ellet. So that's our Akron market. Canton's a little bit south, and Canton has its neighborhoods as well. Pretty similar market. So what I want to talk about kind of applies to all of these areas. One of the biggest factors is that almost half the population in some of these cities are renters. Half the population owns the property and are single family owners or single family residential owners, but the other half are renters. And so we do have a really, really good and really strong renter base in the Akron area. Our median rent in our market, and when I work with our investors, is around $1,000 a month gross. So $1,000 to $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 a month gross is pretty typical right now in our market in the Akron area. And this is, February 2023. This is what we see as a pretty typical gross rent with a mixture of tenants paying most of the utilities or all of the utilities. So I would just, to put that out there to give you some information about what we're seeing in the market in Akron, that's a pretty typical rental rate that we're seeing across the board. And relative to acquisition cost, we can, what we work with our clients on are finding really strong, good target rental properties in the 70 to 100K range, maybe a little bit higher with those given rental rates. So, if you can sit there and do the math, whether you're applying 50% expense load to gross rents or what we can see with a lot of the good flipped properties is you're probably going to be into more than the 30 to 35% expense load on your gross rents. So you guys do the math, but you should be getting somewhere in that 11 to 12, 13%. If you're lucky enough to find that gem, maybe 14 or 15% cap rate on that investment. So I think there's some really good opportunities here. The second key factor in play is that we do have a really stable market here in Northeast Ohio. So sure, we fluctuate up and down, and when the market crash, quote unquote crash, happened, back in the late 2008, 2008 period, we definitely felt the price impacts here in Northeast Ohio. The values have recovered pretty strongly during the recent COVID boom. We have seen an increase in home values. Nothing extremely drastic though. The homes that we were buying, the rental investment properties that we were buying for maybe 50 or 60 are going for the 70 or 80 now. So we're seeing that typical 20 to 30% value increase in properties, but we're definitely not seeing anything where it's doubling or tripling, anything like the coastal areas or some of the really high short-term rental investor targeted areas. So certainly, a little bit more of a stable market. We see in Northeast Ohio, but in general, if you look over the history, we see typically, slower decreases, less drastic reductions in value, although we may also see on the other side, we're not going to see the large spikes in value, which from an investor's perspective is actually a good thing. Stability and predictability are one of the biggest things you're looking for when you invest in real estate in a buy and hold market in particular, if that's going to be your annuity plan as part of your investment portfolio. So the last and most important thing when we coach our investors on investing in real estate, especially in Akron market, is it's not always just about the numbers. It's about your ability to detect issues with the house or understand your investment as far as the quality of the build, maybe the construction, and to look out for those potential big dollar items that are going to impact your P&L in the next 3 to 5 years. What I'd like to share with you is that if you look at the Akron market and the real estate market here, a lot of these homes were built in 1920s to 1950s. Quality construction was a little bit different then. Yeah, it depends on the area and how many bedrooms and bathrooms and that type of thing, but most of the construction is really high quality construction. Structurally they're sound. I'll just tell you, I think the construction quality, the quality of materials was different in that era than some of the new home construction that we see getting thrown up today. So the other big thing is you're probably able to find a house that's been recently remodeled, or if you're partnered with a contractor who's remodeling homes in the Akron market, you may find a great house, got great bones, it's got a lot of character, been recently remodeled, so it's bringing some of the modern amenities, the modern heating and cooling, the modern HVAC, the modern plumbing components, modern electrical. So it's bringing in all those modern amenities to a very, very well-built home that's going to stand the test of time. So, I think that's one of the other real critical factors that it's important to consider when you're investing in real estate is the actual quality of construction, the quality of home itself. So you have a couple really good reasons why I think, the Akron area, Akron Canton market is a great target if you're out there looking for your first rental or maybe your 20th rental. Hopefully by now at that level you've already know about the Akron market. But for those of you that are just getting into it and scouring the country to try and find the markets where you can get good returns, good cap rates, good cash on cash, give us a call. We're happy to help. If you're not familiar with the market in particular and the different neighborhoods and what to look for, we've got the team internally to handle all that. So give us a call. We're happy to help. Stick around for more. Please subscribe. Lots of good information. We're breaking out an investor part of our channel here. So we're going to talk more directly to real estate investors along with, new homeowners and people that are, thinking about selling their property. So it's good to talk with you guys. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks.